one step closer to making science fiction a reality. Spaceships have traveled through wormholes in movies like Star Wars, Star Trek, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Interstellar. But now scientists at Caltech say they have simulated a baby wormhole and even transmitted a message through it. Astrophysicist Hakeem Alusei joins me live now for more on this. Hakeem, I love our chats because I need your help here. Help us lay people out, okay? Pretend you're talking to a 5-year-old and explain to me, what is a wormhole and why is this so important?
Thank you for having me. I love talking to you as well. So, it's all about space and time and our understanding of it. So Albert Einstein and his pal Rosen showed us that if I have 2 points in space, say from here to here, and I want to travel from one to other, I have to go this entire distance. But the thing that Albert Einstein taught us is that space is like a malleable fabric, right? And so if you can bend it under the right conditions, then traveling from here to here means I don't have to go as far, and I can go through a little hole and go, boom, I made it, I'm there, right? And that's what we see in our science fiction. So imagine you're in a room and you're trying to get from one wall to the opposite wall. You could walk across the carpet, or you could warp it, right? You could bring the carpet to you, step across the curved carpet, and then let it unfold behind you. That's how drive works. But what we're talking about here is a wormhole. So a wormhole, in reality, is something that the laws of physics allow. And if you have enough stuff in space, you can create a black hole, and under certain conditions, 2 black holes can combine to create this shortcut through space-time. And so what these researchers have done is attempted to build one inside of a computer, but not just any computer, a quantum computer.
Doing this right? I'm attempting to make my own here with a little piece of paper. I don't think I'm doing it quite correctly.
Close enough. It's a hole.
Hakeem, the scientists say that they simulated a baby wormhole. So how far is that from creating something that we could actually see used in the real world?
Well, so what they've done is a very, very basic simulation. One of the problems that they have is that the quantum computers today just don't have enough power to simulate actual reality. So what they did is what we call a holographic type of simulation. So with a hologram, you can take something that's, say, 2-dimensional and make it appear 3-dimensional. So what they did is they took a very simplified universe, 1-dimensional, and created this 2-dimensional black hole. So what do they mean by black hole? So if I take some matter and throw it into a real-life black hole, all the information of what that matter is gets scrambled up, okay? So what they have is one simulated black hole and a second simulated black hole. They put information, what they call a qubit, into one. It gets all scrambled up and all the information is destroyed, but then it pops out of the other wormhole in order, in sequence, just like they put it in. And the key thing about this, I said they use a quantum computer, is because real-life black holes are unstable. You throw any matter in, the thing closes on, and you can't traverse from one location to another. So what they did for this is, in the quantum realm, which quantum computers allow, you can have negative energies. So when the black hole, when the wormhole attempts to close, you hit it with negative energy, it keeps it open, and then the information can pass. So I know it's a lot, but that's what they did.
It is a lot. That part I got. That part I understood. It's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Hakeem Alusei, I have so many more questions, but we are out of time. We will have to have you back. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yosha, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles. Men in truth went down regarding this truth and knowledge. The Wadi Bashem Yosha for putting the spear of the elders and apostles. And the men in the truth went down regardless, so we can know this truth and knowledge and know this truth and knowledge. Call Yah Bashem Yosha, Bashem Rakakadash. Give all praise Yah Bashem Yosha, Bashem Rakakadash. That was ABC report relating to talking about baby wormholes. With astrophysicists talking about creating the baby wormholes, through hologramic simulation. What is a quantum wormhole? Theoretically, physicists are forge a connection between the concept of entanglement itself, a mysterious quantum mechanical connection between two wildly separated particles, and that of a wormhole, a hypothetically connection between black holes that serve as a shortcut through space, and the wormholes pretty much a bendable force to, for a short space for make it bendable so it can be for that black hole, man. Because a black hole's energy is very unstable because of the density and gravity. Once it pulls in, it closes, man. So that wormhole will serve as a pretty much a short connector or a short space to be able to go through those two intervals, man. Now this is by theory. That's why they use this computer the quantum computer. So hologramic simulations, just showing how it would be, because the reality is they don't have the energy, the power source, the energy and power source to be able to pull it off in reality, which is pretty much the real world, to be able to do this. So through holographic simulation, they showing how it would be through, to be able to do it with the wormhole, with the black hole. Let me say, is wormhole technology possible? In this scenario, a wormhole would be extremely curved region in the space-time that resembles two interconnected funnels, the connection two distant points in space, like a tunnel. Mathematically perspective, such a shortcut would be possible, but no one has ever observed a real wormhole. Physicists explain. The only time we seen that wormhole was movies like space movies and stuff. There was one movie they had a long time ago. They had a black hole in space. I forgot the name. It was a long time ago. Forgot the movie. And of course, you see it through Star Trek when they do space warp. It's Star Wars where they go, pretty much on warp speed. That would be that form of that. Warp drive, and they go real quick and they disappear in deep space. So that's only through the movies and different things, different venues, man. Let me see. I'll go to this scientist created wormhole. Researchers announced on Wednesday that they forged two minuscule simulated black holes, those extraordinary dense celestial objects with gravity so powerful that not even light can escape, and a quantum computer transmitting a message between them through what amounted to a tunnel in space-time, man. Because that's what it is, that big tunnel, a dark space of a tunnel, man. Going through that tunnel. Now it's through the simulation of that quantum computer, through the holographic simulations, man. That's what they were talking about. black hole is actually a four-dimensional object. A black hole extends across the four physical dimensions of the universe, four dimensions that form the background framework of the universe consists of three spatial dimensions and one time dimension. Let's go to what wormhole means.
Wormhole.
This is wormhole.
Wormhole.
This is a hypothetical connection between a wildly separated region of space-time. That's the physics. What does a wormhole mean in slang? Relativity, hypothetical shortcut between the 2 points in space-time, permitting faster than light travel and sometimes time travel. We'll do it again. Faster than light travel and sometimes time travel. And that time travel is that warp speed, man. Like you see in the Star Wars and different things, man. Where the ships automatically, you see the lines when the ships go hyperdrive and deep space, hyperspace. That's that time travel. So, but that's through theory, man. You know, because the reality is, it'd be very, very difficult, pretty much impossible for them to do it, man. And like I said, they need certain elements, they need certain things to be able to do it. The energy force, and really the advancement in the technology, and they just going by theory, man. Let me say, programming slang: a location and monitor program containing the address of a routine, allowing the user to substitute different functionality. One, can humans enter a wormhole? If wormholes exist, if they have wide mouths, and if they can be kept open. 3, but not impossible. Then it's conceivable that we could travel through them faraway spots in the universe. So, you know, be able to do it. We're going through there because, like the black hole, is it has to, things that go into that black hole would it has to stay pretty much together, man. You know what I mean? And through the pressure and the gravity relating to different things in the black hole. So once something that's sucked in, such as a human, the thing is, what will happen to it once it goes through it? Would they be able to be intact if they go all the way through it, man? So that's another thing you have to take in mind. Whatever goes through there, man. You know.
800 feet, 3 minutes.
For example, a human or whatever substance goes through there. And basically, what I'm saying is, once it goes through there, was it going to stay intact, or is it going to be broken up? Pretty much decimated to be unrecognizable. So a lot, like I said, it's through theory, man. Let's get some scriptures. Job 14:5. Job 14:5. And we'll get Job 14:5. Here we go. Seeing his days are determined. So his days are determined by Yahweh Shem Yashah. The number of his months are with thee. This relates to his boundaries, and also his rulership. For example, this is his rulership. His days are determined by Yahweh Shem Shah, when he'll come into unrulership, the inception of his rulership, and when he's going to end. Thou hast appointed his bounds which he cannot pass. So his boundaries are set, man. For him to do certain things is set already, man. For him to try to do certain things beyond what he's limited to do is already set by Yahweh Shem Yashah, man. He's not going to go past that, man. The Lord, if he do, because the Lord allowed him to do it, man. If he don't, because the Lord didn't allow him to do it. So everything is set, man. That relates to his boundaries, limitations. For example, the water and the land. The land is set within his boundaries. It's not going to go beyond a certain point, and the water is not going to go beyond a certain point. The ocean is set within his boundaries. It stays within his boundaries, and the land stays within his boundaries, man. I believe that's in First Ezra. I'm going to say like 3rd or 4th chapter, around that area. Let's go with Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season, and at times every purpose. So it's a time and season to its purpose under the heaven, man. We'll read it again. To everything there is a season, and at times every purpose under the heaven, man. Give example of that. It's a time for peace, a time for war, a time for good, time for evil, man. So there's a time for love, hate. And these are different scriptures I'm just using. And it's time for war, man. It's time for peace, time for war, man. You know, so there's a time according to under as it's set forth, man. Scripture says nothing new under the sun, man. So it's nothing new under the sun. Everything has its time and season, man. According to how Yahweh Shem Yashah, the Lord, has said it, man. Even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Part of those lying wonders and signs is through his technology, man. Pretty much, because he's trying to be like a god. He's trying to be like the Most High, as Scripture says, man. Through his technology, that's the major tool. How he's going to do that, man. AI, different things, man. We get into the industrial technology revolution, man. You know, the emergence of man and machine, man. So the technology is part of that. His tool to be able to do that, man. And majority of the people, you know, are going to get caught up and pretty much dazzled by that, man. They're going to be dazzled and pretty much amazed with that, man. Deceivably amazed, man. And even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonder, because of what? The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. So the power has been given to him, man. And he covered the face of the judges, and that's the ones he put pretty much a covering cast or kept hidden, man, in secret, man. So if it's not he, then who is it? I'm paraphrasing. So part of that is the technology, man. That's part of that sorcery and witchcraft, man. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, man, being deceived, man, because they receive not the love of the truth, this truth and knowledge, that they might be saved. But really, they were blinded, so they were blinded from receiving it, man. They weren't meant to receive it. They probably were not meant to receive it, so they were blinded, man. This truth, because the truth has been pushed all over the world, man. You know, so they heard of these things, but did it resonate? Were they, the scripture says, will they fully persuade, were they fully convinced or persuaded? You know, and that means were they convinced that it's the truth? You know, I mean, so it has to resonate with them, man. And with all deceivableness, unrighteousness in them, that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, and that they may be saved. 11. And for this cause, God sent them a strong delusion. So a delusion was sent upon them, man, that they should believe a lie. That delusion, which they believe is going to be a lie, and then really to deceive who are already blinded, man. All right. This is just a few scriptures. This relates to that video, ABC, talking about the wormhole, you know. Scripture talks about he's trying to exalt himself, man, like to be like the Most High, man. So that's all he's doing through the technology, because he wants to artificially be a god, man. You know, that's all he's doing. But he can never go beyond a certain point, because the Lord set his bounds already that he cannot, man. That's Job 14:5, man. Scripture talks about the forgers are liars, man. 13 and 4 of Job, man. They forgers are lies, man. You know, so I hope this helps whoever listens. I want to give all praise. Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Rakakadash. This is Ayab Wolf. I hope it helps in some way. Shalom. Thanks.